Hi, everybody. It's Ann Duffy again. And it is the same Monday, and it's a little bit after 1 o'clock. And guess who I found rummaging around technology? And, when you're from the big island, it's not as easy as all the rest of us here right in North Carolina. But guess who I found? Like one of my favorite dudes of all times. Look at that beautiful lady, spiritual leadership. And Victoria is here to join us. I want her to share with you about the little bit of collaborating that we're going to be doing and what is most top of mind on the business of dentistry for female entrepreneurs. Please help me welcome the famous, the amazing Victoria Peterson. Hello, Victoria.
Hello, Anne. Third time's a charm.
We made it. We made it. Well, third or fourth time a charm. Depends on how you look at it. But I knew we would. Dues never give up, right? So.
No, we don't give up. We do not give up. No.
Yeah, and I think part of why is because we are entrepreneurial, and when you have a dream, you have a calling, that's bigger than yourself and bigger than money. In fact, I want to read this before we get started just to set the tone, because we pulled a quote out from your article that was so wonderful, and your article was so yummy, and it was in our winter 220 edition. And the quote that we pulled out: imagine a world where self-worth is not connected to net worth. Right? And you and I have had discussions along those lines. That's great to say and really wonderful to feel, but we all need net worth to feed our families and give to our charities and save for retirement. So this is what I'm so excited that you're actually building a program to help us get it all right, to answer our calling and to make it profitable. So have the floor, Victoria. Tell us what this is all about and where it came from.
You know what? That is a fantastic jumping off point. Our self-worth should not be measured by our net worth. And what we've put together, and I'm so excited to collaborate with you. We're taking a lot of the business protocols that I've taught for over 15 years through Productive Dentist Academy. And quite honestly, I don't think I ever identified as a woman. I identified as a business person. And most of the female dentists that I work with, they're like, well, yeah, I'm a woman, but so what? I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an owner. And so until you came into my life, I never really felt this calling to say, let's create and cultivate a space to explore how women really do address business differently than men. And this place of net worth and self-worth, here's how I see it showing up, is that sometimes we allow our philosophy of care and how we run our practices to be based on the drivers of money. And when it's based on the drivers of money, your philosophy of care becomes things like, well, whatever insurance will cover, that's what we'll do. Or we start doing wallet biopsies. We don't intend to, but we get into this trap of, I'm not really organized in my business. And you know what? In dental school, everywhere I turn, I hate this. Consultants consistently say to doctors, you're not a good business person because you didn't have a business class. Listen to me, women. If you've been in practice more than 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you are a damn fine business person.
Amen, sister.
Because you know what? Restaurants go out of business every 2 to 3 years. And yet, you know what? They start another one and another one and another one. They're terrible business people. Restaurant owners are terrible business people. It's a terrible model. Dentists, you are great, particularly if you're on this entrepreneur's journey, right? You're fabulous. And what I've discovered through you, Anne, is that the way that women approach business differently, and I think millennials, and I'll point this out a lot, millennials approach this in the same way. It's a feminine aspect of collaboration and intuitiveness and authenticity that was simply not present with the business tools we were given from the industrial age. So we've been operating on this, and you hear it in the vocabulary from the factory, right? So in the factory model that came along in the industrial age, we stopped thinking holistically. Your job is to put this screw into that bolt. Your job is to put this hood on that car, right? And the beltway came along, and we fragmented our mind. And where you hear it is in HR terms, people are called human capital, right? It's an awful term. That's a standard business term, is maximize and optimize your human capital. And from that, you report to your supervisor. So a lot of the practice management that we were given in the 80s, particularly in the 90s, was that I say you do kind of mentality, that authoritative. And it was also, dentist, you should not worry yourself with the business. Delegate that to your office managers, and I love office managers. You can't live without them. But here's the difference. When COVID came along and we all became virtual, and dentists said, whoa, wait, I had to furlough my office manager. Now I need to look at my numbers. Now I need to know where my business is going to go, and it's falling on my leadership shoulders. And so what we've been trained to do is lead when there was this perception of stability and predictability. So that's the old paradigm of business is, you don't need to know the business because your team can do that. And your job is to maximize yourself clinically. And so doctors have done that. They become very efficient clinically. And they're at the mercy of others telling them what their business. So the class that you and I have co-created is called Business Impact. And it's a foundation class because I want everybody, if you've got a good foundation, it'll give you that needle in the haystack, that little refinement of, oh, that piece. And I'm excited. We're going to bring in strength finders. We're going to have peer learning for women only. Now you're welcome. Productive Dentist is going to be running this co-ed. You can jump in there with the guys too. Women get to go.
We love our dudes. We love our dudes. Yeah.
You can go in there with all the gentlemen and you can learn there. But if you also want a private women only where you're going, yeah, but childcare and this and that and all the other stressors, you can come into that peer learning group too. It's going to be a really safe environment. And I'm super excited for these times. I'm super excited for women because finally it feels like we're pulling together. My mantra is this: healthy patients. That's why we start with philosophy of care. What is your philosophy of health and how do you want to support your patients? Then it's healthy practice. How do I know my business is healthy? So understanding the metrics, the KPIs, and the benchmarks are changing. They really are. What we thought was healthy practice 2 years ago, it's shifted. So I'm going to show you those shifts. And then the piece that I love so much, healthy practitioner. How are we taking care of ourselves? Because many times we're not only the business owner, we're also the provider in the practice. So how we emotionally fortify ourselves, how we physically build stamina. That's what my degree in spirituality was all about, is how do I understand my energy circuits? How do I understand how to relate in this more collaborative world? How do we all support the brilliance in each and every one of us? So in spiritual terms, we all hold unique medicine. We all hold special gifts, and learning to collaborate. That's why I love Do so much. Collaboration helps to reflect back all of that. So that's the big picture of what you and I have been up to, what we've been doing. And, this is an 8-week immersive experience. And at the end of it, it is my great hope that with lots of support, you walk out with a 2-year business plan based on those new paradigms of radical inclusion. How do I get my team more engaged and fired up? So you're going to have a 2-year blueprint, and we've got master coaches from my team that are going to interact with you every step of the way. So you don't have to guess about plugging in numbers from your P&L and all of that. We've got master business coaches to hold your hand. You'll also have a marketing plan that's going to reflect your own authentic self. And so you're going to have a business plan that's supported by the outline of a marketing plan, and it's also going to be supported by a team engagement document. So we're really filling your toolbox that says, here is a great team building tool that you can use to roll out your new philosophies. Here's a step-by-step. So we're really peeling back the blinds of our deep consulting vault. We call it our wiki, our corporate wiki, and we're just giving it away. Like, we are pouring it into this 8-week class.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. I think the timing of it is great. And, they say when you're doing a virtual, I want you to talk a little bit more about that you don't need too much time to get the news out there. So we're just getting it rolled out on our end. And I think that it's when women stepped back with COVID and nobody was in the offices, no one was in their office, that's when they realized how much they do or did know about their business.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's a lot of little nuances there that they can put back into what they don't know. And I mean, a lot of things that they don't know, they don't even know they don't know. And I think that's
what I don't know, I didn't know.
Yeah. And I think that just keeps you up at night. Once you know what you don't know, and then there's a place to get the resource to find out about that, and then have experts help you with the business plan. I forgot about that. I believed it was business plan and marketing plan at the end of that. That's a great value when they go on to productivedentist.com and put in the code, because you guys are doing a wonderful support for all the dues out there, all the due owners that are out there, looking for a little bit more in this time, how to up their game. I mean, they're in it to win it, right? And so they want to they know they have to up their game now. And I like the idea. Tell me about how that's going to work, because my understanding is they can watch these the different sections when they want to. And so it's not like they have to show up. So tell us a little bit more about that, Victoria.
Well, it actually, this really goes into adult theory of learning and adult development. And we don't learn by shoving spinach down. You can't force feed any adult to learn anything. So this really is a compelling invitation to gain the support you need. So all the modules are pre-recorded, and you watch the modules, and we chunk them down in 10-minute sections. So if there's 4 or 5 sections, don't worry, you don't have to sit there for an hour. You can grab it, digest it, think about it, go to the next one, but you actually come to the peer learning time prepared to have a discussion about that topic. So if we're discussing philosophy of care, you've already gone through the modules pre-recorded. We'll start launching those next week, even before the class. We're going to start opening those up. And it really, I'm pushing my team. They're like, whoa, we got to get ready.
Yeah.
And we thought, what, maybe we should do it in August. Maybe we should do it in September when we're more prepared, giving people more time to think about it. And then we thought, what, no. People are ready now, and if you're ready now, then and you don't need a lot of time to think about it. So all the learning modules are pre-recorded. So you have vocabulary, you've got structure, you've got the workbook for that section, and then you come into the peer learning for the support that says, if I want to do this, how do I go from here to here? And someone will say, oh, I just did that, let me share. So it's very much like a do community for the purpose of building your business plan or plan.
Yeah, I like that. It reminds me kind of how we did our retreat. Honestly, we just get the little talk and then we all talk.
Yes.
So talk and talk. But and an hour's nothing. I mean, I just did a 3-day virtual. It was 3 days and I was exhausted, but I like the idea that your modules are going to be fairly simple, but you've kind of boiled it down to the stuff that they have to know, or that you could imagine with your vast knowledge of, and I'm sure that you do, surveys and things like that with all the people that have gone through your Productive Dentist Academy, that you've got so much background information to share on what works and what doesn't work. You kind of been through all that. So that's called expertise.
Yeah. Part of it is expertise, and part of it, you're right, is a new listening. The last live event that I did was with Grace Yum in Chicago, and as COVID was first hitting, right? And the question in my mind was, how ready are entrepreneurs for business risk, right? So I put together, in fact, why don't we send that out and let the dues take this assessment? Are you ready for business risk? And it wasn't really COVID at that point. I didn't know we would all be shut down, had no idea. But what happens if your practice experiences a fire or a flood or embezzlement or theft, or there's a security breach and your patient credit cards get out there, or your health fails and you've got to be out of your practice for 3 to 6 months? Are you ready? So one of the bonuses with this course, not only do you get the business map, but we're having our IT people do a security audit on your systems. So we're actually going into risk management and really helping you know what you don't know. And so the bonuses for this class alone, my team told me the other day, they're worth $11,000. I'm like, how in the world do we get them?
So, wow. So that is great. And I think it's a good time because, I mean, if you wait till August, all of a sudden, some of the patterns that you're already setting, once everybody goes back and is ready for change. Everybody knows there's going to be change, right? So you want to get your team in a position where they know change is coming and they're excited about it. And then you can implement new things, I think, a lot easier than if everybody gets back into the old habits that we've had all along. And then nobody wants to change something that they think is working. And everybody kind of knows nothing. Nobody knows what's working. And the other thing that made me think was, when you were ticking off the different things that are happening, in my mind, I'm like, oh, no, that's going to happen to me. Well, none of us expected a pandemic either. So, I mean, this is like real. This is life. And if a pandemic can happen to all of us, so that all of those individual hardships come to any practice or any business for that matter, we have to be prepared. And that's, we're in charge of being prepared for our businesses, aren't we?
Well, and that is the call of leadership. And what I'm responding to, I think, comes from a deep place of team engagement, because I started out as an assistant and then I was a hygienist. I became the default office manager because our office manager gave 2 weeks notice, 2 weeks before my daughter had her first baby. So
like, given that, it
was like, yeah. And so she wrote all the checks, she dealt with the vendors, she processed all the insurance claims, she just made the practice run. And I knew SoftDent, I knew QuickBooks, and I knew the patients. So I became the default office manager for 6 weeks because it was easier to replace me as a hygienist that I could oversee and calm the nerves of the patients than it was to quickly hire somebody to run your business while you're on maternity leave. So that 6 weeks turned into a 2-year position as office manager. And so I am so hypersensitive to the change that the team is going through. And so within this course design, what we baked in there was certainty. So we're not including the team in this. This is an opportunity to become really certain in your own leadership, get really certain about where you want to take the practice. So it's like summer camp for female entrepreneurs, right? So we get to come to summer camp and answer the question, what do I want?
Yeah.
What do I want this business to do for me? What do I want this business to be for my team? What do I want this business to be in the community? What do I want to be known for? And then from that place of certainty, we come out, because teams get really disenchanted and chaotic when you don't have a plan. Mm-hmm. You're just reacting like, okay, now the oh my God, I don't know, I'm overwhelmed, leave me alone, shut the door.
Yeah.
This is really the give me time to think so that you don't overwhelm. In fact, week 6 or 7 is when we start laying out the team engagement plan. So after you've got your philosophy, after you've got your 2-year business plan with the milestones, after you've done your own business assessment and your risk assessment, you know where there are gaps, then we start thinking about what is your authentic voice in the marketplace to the patients, what's your vision there? And then you come to the team and say, hey guys, this is where I want to go. This is how I want to treat our patients. This is my stand on where we take insurances or not. This is how I want our technology to be. And I really want your ideas. I want you to help me bring this to life. So week 7, we start giving you team engagement tools. And then week 8, as a tribe in your peer learning groups, you actually vote on some of the best business plans. And the winners get to present their plans, and they win some really cool business tool prizes.
So oh wow!
There's like
that sounds like a lot of fun. And you know what really struck me was when you were speaking is the fact that there's a lot. I mean, our next issue, and Dental Entrepreneur that is a Dental Entrepreneur woman that's going out is all about ADOM. The cover, we've got the beautiful Heather Colicchio and Angela Martinez on our cover, and they share a beautiful story or a conversation about celebrating women. And I would imagine that all the dues that are out there, all the dental office managers would love their boss, their owner, to finally kind of get their blinders on and know where they're going, right? So that they can come back. And I know you're all about team. And to come back and it's not about me, it's about all of us working together and collaborating as an office, right? So as a unit. So you not only collaborate with the team peer review, but also you go back and you collaborate with your team, because together you can do so many great things. So if you're listening, dudes out there, and you're not a practice owner, I know you know a practice owner that could really use this, a hygienist. I mean, I would absolutely adore if my boss that I'm still working a half day a week when I go back in September would take a look at something like this. And I will slide it under his nose and see what he thinks. But I think that you can't go wrong, because a 2-year business plan, that's really something to work for. And check that off and then see what happens and do another 2-year plan, another 2-year plan. And that's success. Everybody wants to go to heaven. They just don't want to die. So everybody wants to have a successful practice. They just don't want any help. They want to muddle through it. And I think that this gives them some real hope that there are people out there that are going to listen and really help them get there.
Well, you nailed it on the head. Our number one referral source right now, you're going to crack up. It's office managers and spouses.
Oh, wow.
That's how most are, and these are like a lot of our male doctors, their spouses and their office managers. Sometimes is the same. That's who's sending people to us right now. We're very much referral based as a company. And the 2-year business plan, it's a guiding post. And as a leader, this really is a leadership toolkit. I think you all have wonderful leadership skills. I think you've got the intuition to be a great leader. That's why you own a practice. But the tools have shifted. And a leader only has 2 jobs. Number 1 job is to clarify. Clarify, 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 clarify. And you will have to say the same thing to your team 11 times before they get. Trust me, I have tested that theory for 20 years. It really is 11 times. And I'm confused. Like, how could you be confused? I gave it to you in writing. I gave you a picture. Yes. So clarity is your number 1 goal. And then number 2 is to support the good culture that you want to have show up. That really is the role of the leader, is to clarify and to know where we're going. Clarify and know where we're going. And for so many of us women, we did adopt that masculine model of success and ambition. And for me, a long time, it felt like, I'm the trailblazer. And I love that. And then I finally slowed down and went, wait, the trailblazer has the machete cutting through the tough bush, and they're getting scratched and bitten by the rattlesnake. And so if my experience being the trailblazer can make it easier for you to come through and not have the same scars, then that's my great hope, is that we can learn from the path that is tried and true to kind of do some forward thinking and planning.
Sounds wonderful. It sounds really great. I just hope that everybody will take a look at this. I think you've got some information on your website, and gosh, if you just think about, if you could just lay your head down on the pillow at night and think, you're doing the right thing for your team and your office and for your dreams of having a successful business. It's going to make everybody better in our profession. And I like the idea. I mean, just, dues always, because we're a dental entrepreneur woman, it has changed. You want to lead, but you want to keep your feminine self, right? It's not like we have to be men to be successful. We love the men. But we have a little bit of a different aura, different mindset, and we're not going to change. We don't want to take the femininity out. Yeah. We just want to enhance it because, we are strong leaders and the history proves it. So I think that this is the time to take advantage of it. Victoria, thanks for being on our live today. We did it.
We did it. I'm so excited. And we have a special landing page up for you. I see you've got your promotion code going across. And honestly, we have done everything we can to make this affordable. So for the price of 2 crowns, you can get a 2-year business plan with a marketing demographic report and all those other things. It's all lined out on the website. So
yeah, and friendships that will last a lifetime. That's the other thing is I think that's the valuable approach, the way you're putting that together. It's wouldn't
it be great to put a class together and then we have class reunion in November?
Yes. And they all come to the retreat. That would be fantastic.
That would just bring it to life.
That is the plan. I'm sure that is the plan. This just dropped right down on us, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. So this is Do Retreat started early.
Yeah. We're getting ready. We're fired up. We're ready to go. We're going to be announcing all of that coming up. Probably next week, we'll be announcing all of our speakers and what's happening. And we've got some real great surprises for everybody. But, together we do. And Victoria, thank you so much. So everybody get that, go to productivedentist.com, promo code 2020DO, sign up, put the rest of that money in your pocket and do something fun with that, because this is such a great deal. And it's just a delight to work with you. And just, I'm so impressed with the offer that you put out there for everybody. They will not believe it when they see it. So y'all take care. Thank you so much. Victoria, thanks for coming today. And I'm just thrilled that we got this together. And I look forward to doing another. Maybe we'll jump on next week even and give a little bit of a reminder, because
4th of July update.
Yeah. 4th of July update. Next week for sure. We can come on and see what else is going on and how you move this plan a little bit more forward. So thank you so much. Be safe out there in Hawaii. Oh my gosh, I love it. Isn't it wonderful to be able to do business from Hawaii, from anywhere in the world, the way virtual works these days, if you can get on and the technology works for you. So, y'all have a great week. I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for inviting all your friends to come on to our platform of Dental Entrepreneur Woman this past weekend. We were so successful. We're thinking of extending it just a bit, because it was just blew us away and about crashed our servers. So we love you all. You take care this week. Stay safe, stay sane, wear your mask, and doing you. All right, everybody. See you next week.